Boom. What up, YouTube? LTH coming at you with a Tuesday video. 7:13 to Bio City. We up in here. So I know I made the preview video, on a Sunday. Never too early for a preview against the next opponent. But though I just thought I'd put a little extra thoughts into this Broncos versus Texans matchup for week 13. And yeah, I know Denver's gonna try to win their sixth in a row. And yeah, Denver is the hottest team in the AFC, and not far behind in the wild card hunt. So the way I look at this game, I see this as another high stakes game for both teams. I mean, maybe not as big as Jacksonville versus Houston because they was battling out for the division last week, but this game right here, it's going to be with some big stakes, some more big stakes up in hand. So I noticed Denver, last 4 games, found a way to take the ball away and also find a way to make opposing offenses one-dimensional if it means taking away their biggest strengths and forcing opponents to beat their defense with their key weaknesses. Got to credit that Denver defense. More importantly, credit Vance Joseph for for coaching that defense a lot better since allowing that 70 points to the Dolphins early in the year when they started out 1-5 at the time. And also got to credit Sean Payton, for a hell of a job he's been doing with Russell Wilson in that offense. I mean, yeah, they had their bumps and bruises while having a hot hand, but man, they found a way to get it done when it counts. I know Russ is not having the flashiest of 2023 campaign, but sure as hell not doing as bad as last season too. Because, hey, I understand. I mean, they may not win the AFC West, but they're want to do everything they can to try to make the playoffs. And yeah, they got to go through the Texans. So I want to talk about what matchups I want to look out for. And I have one in mind. The Texans offense versus the Denver Broncos defense. And I gotta say, another thing to watch out for is which team is more disciplined on both sides of the ball and who can come up with clutch stops and force the most turnovers and of course win the time of possession. So let's start out of how the Houston Texans offense can overcome that Broncos defense that has been resurging. Because, yeah, Vance Joseph's going to be creative as possible and to try to confuse C.J. Stroud in that Texans offense, because Stroud is their offense, their anchor, the anchor of that Texans offense. Because the running game hasn't been so great as I hoped it would, but Stroud's been holding that offense down. So here's how the Texans can overcome that Broncos defense. Starts with Bobby Slowick opening up the playbook wide open. Just as similar as how Vance Joseph's going to open up that defensive playbook to try to confuse the Texans offense. Slowick got to open up that playbook to confuse the Broncos defense. For example, by tricking them into thinking they'll run a ball, but let's say a play at RPO, for example. I just thought I'd throw that out there. It's all about playing smart against an aggressive defense, because one false play could change everything. But along with messing up a team's chances of winning. It's all part of mistake-free football. And of course, gotta run the ball. Open up holes for both Pierce and Singletary, because that's how you're gonna have a shot to gas up that Broncos defense, keep the Broncos defense on their heels. And plus keeping the ball out of Russ's hands. Keep the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands, because I can see that being the key right there. Because You don't want no quick 3-and-outs against that Broncos defense because they're going to look to add more takeaways. Yeah. So, got to protect the football. Protect the football, good things will happen, which results in scoring touchdowns when it counts the most. And of course, avoid boneheaded penalties on both sides. Got to score points. And of course, Dalton Schultz got to bounce back because he wasn't too much involved in that passing attack. Only had one catch of 2 yards. As good as he's been all year, most of the year, last week just wasn't his day. So, got to get him involved in that offense. Outside of depending on Tate Dale. Because can't be one-dimensional and expect to have successful drives. Got to mix it up on everything. Confuse the Broncos defense as much as possible. And keeping them on their heels. That's when have an understanding that the Broncos D gets gassed out. Hey, no excuses to why the Texans offense don't attack their defense in full force. And of course, can't afford to shoot themselves in the foot. Stroud got to get rid of that ball. Know when to get rid of the ball. Because especially knowing if it's not there, either throw the ball away or any running room, hey, scramble with it. But if not, then just throw the ball away. Just as long as there's no intentional grounding is involved. Because a loss of down would suck. Protect the ball. Win on time of possession. Don't do anything careless offensively, and offense will be fine. It won't be an easy game. I can tell you that right now. It's not gonna be a walk in the park. Because December football, I know it's still November, but as far as November 28th going on to 29th, but December football is almost here. Favorite time of the year it's December football. It's about to get real. Switch it over to the defensive side. Hopefully DeMeco Ryans can call. Nothing against Mac Burke calling the plays on defense, but I would prefer DeMeco to call the plays on defense. On the defensive side, got to be disciplined, smart. That's my number 2 thing to watch, to see how that defense is going to fare against Russ and that offense. Offense ain't too bad, but can't take that offense lightly. Got to take them seriously every snap, because every snap counts for 60 minutes or even overtime. Every possession, every play. December football is like playoff football. So for the defense to find a way to get off the field, got to force quick 3-and-outs at Russ. Can't allow Russell Wilson to have time in the pocket to throw. So you gotta definitely make him uncomfortable, man, to where he can't throw the ball to an open receiver. Of course, you gotta limit the big plays too. They got to do a better job of limiting the big plays of 20-plus yards because last week, they almost gave up 400 yards through the air, which is unacceptable, and gave up 8 third-down conversions. Ouch. 8 third-down conversions to Trevor freaking Lawrence. Yeah, you can't have that. Cannot have that. Got to do a better job of looking for a way to get off the field. Putting the ball in C.J. Stroud's hand as much as possible. To just let Stroud cook and let the defense rest up and come back fresh on the next drive. Because can't afford, because the Texas defense start getting tired. that's when the Broncos gonna wear them out. And I'm sure the Texans cannot afford to let that happen again, or else it's gonna be a long day. And plus, it's a chance that our playoff hopes can take even a much bigger dent than what it did last week. Knowing that the Colts on the tiebreaker on us, so they currently on the 7th seed. Yeah, I got them beating the Titans, but I wouldn't be mad if the Titans can find a way to beat Indy, though we would have to handle our own business. But if the Colts do win, so be it. There's still plenty more football left, so just got to keep fighting until the last game of the season. So one game at a time, because like I said in that Jags and Texans recap, you still got to play 6 more games left. Got to play 3 or more division games, which is week 15 will be our next division game against the Titans. So got to at least win. Hell, since we're 1-2 in the division, you got to and I said this before, we may not win the division, but the least we can do is win our last 3 division games. If they can do that, that'll be great. But till then, gotta focus on the Denver Broncos, a resurgent Broncos at that. The coaching gotta be on point too. Coaching staff gotta be on point. Gotta manage timeouts a little better. If you need those timeouts, hey, take a penalty. Maybe not the best choice, but hey, accept the penalty for what it is. 12 men on the field, delay of game, because later on in the game, you're going to need those timeouts. If the game is close, by the way, which I see it being, by the way, got to manage those timeouts better, because later on in games, you're going to need them. Because having all 3 timeouts is recommended in late in games, because you go in late in the second half with like only 1 timeout or none at worst, and we're down, it's going to be kind of hard, big time. So manage the timeouts better at that. And the coaching got to go ham. You got to figure out, must find a way to outcoach the Broncos coaching staff. Because if we can do that, there's no excuse to why this team don't get the dub in a bounce back fashion. If it means stopping Denver's 5-game winning streak. So what the Texans offense versus Denver's defense is going to be what I'm going to be watching the most, and see how Stroud, because this is another good test for CJ Stroud, by the way, who's been balling, but his pocket awareness got to be better too. Pocket awareness and decision making, because Denver has ways of forcing game-wrecking turnovers. They already have 16 in the last 4 games, so it's important that the Texans play mistake-free ball. And while we got to force, Stingley did catch a pick, though it should have been called back because of Petrie holding on to Ingram. But hey, it is what it is. But Texans got to do their job at the end of the day, forcing turnovers. Win the turnover battle. Got to play with mental toughness, man, because can't let the Broncos get hot early. I know we haven't had a lot of L's by double digits, but like I posted yesterday, that the Texans had gone 52 weeks without a win when trailing by 10 plus points. Last time they won when trailing by 10 plus points was week 6 2016 against the Colts on Sunday Night Football. Yeah, 7 long years. But yeah, this game's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. If I was to predict the score to this game, give me the Texans by a score of 27-24 because of them finding a way to make clutch plays and 25-20, 27-24. If the Texans were to lose, it would be by a score of 24-21 Denver. Due to the Texans not securing a key stop when it counted. That's just my prediction. But yeah, man, I just wanted to throw in some extra thoughts about this game, about this upcoming game between Denver and Houston, because I want to beat the Denver Broncos. Man, I just wish we wouldn't have beaten these guys last year, man. Had we figured out how to score points in the second half. I mean, I know we were a jacked up team, but damn. They let this game slip right through their fingers. But that's in 2022. This is week 13, 2023. December football is here. It's going to come down to how bad the Texans want to not only beat the Broncos, but to also keep their hopes alive. And I get it. We're 6-5. Yeah, last week hurt, but Houston fans got to understand, this team is a build and grow year. It's like a build and grow year. And yeah, Carolina and Atlanta Falcons game, yeah, should have won that game. Just like last week, but I ain't even tripping because it's like a learn and grow year for the Texans anyway, especially for the pass defense, because they got a new coordinator, but gotta give us some more time to gel. The pass defense more at that. They recently signed Derek Barnett. If he plays this Sunday, it'll be nice, to give him some time to learn how to adapt in that D'Amico Ryans defense. But I ain't even tripping about being 6-5 though, since we already have twice as many wins as last year. And even more wins than the last 3 years combined. So it's good to see how the Texans have improved as far as wins is concerned. So yeah, there's that. And I might be back to do a college football video of my Texas Longhorns about the Big 12 championship, since they'll be playing the Oklahoma State Cowboys in Arlington this Saturday. So pretty much be on the lookout for that. So till then, LTH checking on the body here, 713 to buy your city. But shout out to Kobe Sports once again. Shout out to the brother Kobe Sports. Shout out to Snake Beast, Preacher Man. Shout out to you, Corwin. Shout out to you, Mile High 6, Broncos Fanatic, A Fizzle. And of course, gotta shout out my guy Savage Self, Sonetos, and Lady Self. Shout out to y'all. And all I gotta say to y'all is, shall be a good game and may the best team win. So there it is. To my next video, Houston checking on up out of here. Go Texans. Let's bounce back and handle business. I'm out.